Hi, I'm Annika Johnson from Al Johnson's in Sister Bay. I hope you enjoy my new video series called Door County Girl. These are stories of my life, the people and places that I love, and of course how we all survive here in northern Wisconsin. You can come back as often as you like, but don't forget to subscribe to Al's YouTube channel. I'll be posting lots of really cool new videos. So let's go. Welcome to another episode of Door County Girl. I'm here today with my friend Carol Ash, who owns Kick Ash in Ellison Bay. And there's so many questions and so much that we need to talk about. So I'm going to let...
I said it could be a feature-length film with the two of us
Yeah, we could
here.
have a series every week because we have lots of good stories. Because Carol and I, we worked together at Al's.
Yep.
I mean, your sister Julie worked there.
Did she?
I mean,
Jane.
Yes, and
Jackie
worked there, and so it was kind of the fun thing to do. Is we all went to school together, and then we all worked together. So
and
we have all this.
Summers were a blast.
And I'm going to kind of start it out with. I know we're going to talk about Kick Ash, but it's hilarious how you met your husband at Al's.
Well, we didn't actually meet there, but he came and swept me off my feet.
You have to tell him the story because I think it's hilarious.
I met my husband at, am I supposed to be looking? I met my husband in Tennessee at a wedding. It was a setup. And it was great, you know, but I have to go back to work at Al's in the salad bar. I was in the salad bar those days. And
I remember you were so excited. You met this really nice guy, good-looking guy. We were all like, what's his name? Yeah.
But he was a bush pilot and he lived in Alaska. So I kind of left. I had another year to go on my physical therapy degree. So I was like, my mom and I went down to the to Tennessee. And speak of the devil, Mom. Come through, Mom. Just come through over that way. My mom and I went to the wedding and we drove back, and I went to work at Al's the next day. I'm sitting in the salad bar and I see this guy walk to the front of Al's.
And it wasn't very busy.
No. And so he's at the front so that you can't really see who it is. And Julie Corden came back and said, I said, tell me about the guy. She goes, he's got a big belt buckle and cowboy boots, and he's really nice. And I said, that is him. That is him. He was just in Tennessee. Anyway, he wrote me a sweet little note, and they brought it back to me, and I went out there, and the rest is history.
I mean, can you believe he came all the way to Door County?
What happened is he only knew that I worked at a restaurant with goats on the roof.
That's hilarious.
And so he went to the Green Bay airport and said, I need to find the place with the goats on the roof. So that's how.
It's
so
like
Al's
a Cinderella
is a big part of,
story.
Yeah. Came and swept me off my feet.
Where's the slipper? But I need to find a goat.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So Al's was a big part of our beginning of our relationship.
That is actually one of my favorite stories. I love that story. I tell that story to my friends sometimes. Like, I can't believe how much stuff happens at Al's that is cool in life.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And everybody just took over for me and let me go hang out with them. Yeah.
Let's not talk about Al's. Let's talk about Kick Ash.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to let you take it over because I love this building. Sometimes when I walk in here, I always say, I would live in here. I wouldn't even have it as a store. I would just have a nice big open house like this, and I would live in here.
We've talked about it, actually.
I mean, I went to church here. It was so cool. Mm-hmm. This church is so cool. I had no idea that it could be something like this.
So my mom sang in the choir right up there when we were growing up, so it's really fun for me to kind of life full circle. Our business was small, but we wanted to be in Ellison Bay. So 3 years ago now, we went and talked to the Lindens and said, hey, we know your life is a little more in China.
I'm going to backtrack.
Okay.
So your business is small, but how did you start Kick Ash?
Oh, okay.
Like, were you sitting home one day and you're like, Kick Ash, I'm going to get some Kick Ash coffee or Kick Ash granola?
I made granola in quart jars and would deliver them to friends who had babies or whatever. And Emily Salm, who did this beautiful artwork back here, I dropped it off when she had a baby, and she was texting me saying, you have to sell it, you know. And then at the time, her husband Paul was having breakfast at the Cornerstone. So he said, hey, I want you to make that for Cornerstone. So I just looked into what it would take to do that kind of as a side thing. Mm-hmm. So that's how it started. And I was like, we drove all the way to Algoma to work in the farm kitchen down there.
Yep, familiar with that.
And then we moved to a small place in Country Walk, and we were working out of Fireside when it was in Ellison Bay.
Oh yeah,
Then
I
we
remember.
worked, so I moved a lot.
Yeah,
I
you
moved
did.
a lot of different places. And then we were in the Blue Building by Island Orchard Cider.
Yep.
And then we just decided, like, we have to find our final place. No more moving.
Yeah, quit moving
And
around.
shortly into it, Chris started roasting coffee, so that kind of, we needed more space. I asked, I think, a lot of the people in Ellison Bay whether they were getting ready to retire or whatever. So that's how that all came about. I went to the Lindens and said, hey, we really want to purchase a building in Ellison Bay. We know
Yeah,
your
because
life
this
is in...
building was what before you bought it?
It was
after the
it was
church.
the Linden Asian Art Gallery.
Right, and it was beautiful in here. They had all kinds of things from all over the world. Big,
And really, such
big
cool
furniture
people.
items.
Yeah, huge. And such good people.
And there's a giant basement below us
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Used to be the where the church ladies made their little goodies and stuff for.
Yes.
So it's kind of fun, like life full circle.
I
We
remember
make all
when
of
we were
our
little kids, we got to go
granola.
down there and get cookies and things like that. Oh yeah, so go on, yeah.
Yeah, so we bought this 3 years ago and just have expanded a lot of our product lines, and yeah, it's been fun. And we added our gluten-free bakery. That was a big thing, and I don't know, it feels good to be back, like doing something in the place you were brought up.
Right.
And I still, when we turn on the lights in the morning,
You mean you didn't want to be a waitress at Al's forever, like us?
if I ever stop having waitress nightmares, I will come back.
I have
still-
shipping.
I still have them.
I have unpacking nightmares now when I work in the warehouse. That's hilarious.
I did love
Do you have
working at
granola
Al's.
nightmares?
I don't. I
It's
don't.
just more peaceful. It's a relaxing job for you.
We have a lot of pieces of this business that we do wholesale and online orders and our retail, so it's not like calm all the time. We've got a lot going on.
Right.
But we started off with just online and wholesale.
First, and then you decided to do like a local.
When we were
retail.
over at Island Orchard, there was a little retail space, and actually Bob Perman encouraged me to try retail, and I was like, hey, we got a perfect space here. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm here anyway. So at the time, there was a big window, so I could bake in the kitchen and come out and wait on customers. So it worked really well, and we realized that it was the piece that I really enjoyed, like community coming in and people that I've known for a long time, and I don't know, it was the kind of the piece that I was missing personally, because I loved being at Al's. The coffee guys in the morning coming in, and
it's a little
just,
loud in there like all the time, but in here when you walk in here, it's more like, oh, let's go find a little corner. It's so cozy.
there are a
in
lot
here.
of cozy corners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you never would really think that. I mean, yeah, you can see it was a church, but you never envisioned it to be like that, like a little nook over here and a little living room over there. Like
I wanted it to be like people were kind of coming over to my house to
Yes.
have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That was the kind of
And that's exactly
thing that
how
I
it is
wanted
in
it
here.
to be.
So so you had the spot, and then what made you want to get into the other things like the pillows and the cards and the candles?
It's such a huge space.
You had to fill it.
Right, and I'm like, what are we gonna do? So
You didn't want to be a full-service restaurant, so
no,
you-
and our kitchen is downstairs, so that
Yeah,
makes
it's
it
too much
really
running
difficult. And so basically, it was just we had started with a little retail things in the other store, but we just increased it quite a bit. And up until this past fall, we had a co-working space up here, so that filled up that part. But yeah, just trying to fill up the space, not make it feel so big. And
I always come running in here trying to find a birthday gift like last minute for someone. That's something really cool, and I always come in here and find something special.
Yeah, we
so
do
I always have really neat things. Like
we have a lot of different types.
yeah, from my friends that are a little bit more, whimsical or whatever. That's kind of fun to find something different that you don't see everywhere else. So
Yeah.
but I have to talk about your granola. So that was sort of your mainstay
Right.
in the beginning. So I was going over to the school one day talking to my coworker Susie, who used to work for you.
Yeah.
And she always used to bring granola in all the time. And I always had the cherry almond granola, and I love it.
That's our top seller.
Yeah, it's so good. But then one day I saw this bag of paleo granola. And I always make fun of my friend KC, Karen Claiborne, who lives out in Lake Tahoe. She's always like, oh, I'm paleo this and paleo that. So every time I see a paleo funny meme or something, I send it to her because she's always paleo, but she's lost like 40 pounds being on a paleo. So I sampled your little paleo granola, and it's not too sweet,
Right.
and it's got a little bit of salt in it.
And
which
it doesn't
I
have
like.
oats in it.
And I would not know that. So what's in it that makes it so tasty?
It's almonds and all
That's my
kinds
new
of different
favorite.
nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, coconut chips, but also cinnamon and cardamom.
Yeah, and I love cardamom.
Well, you have to love cardamom.
I put cardamom in my coffee and then my oatmeal in the morning. But I feel like my inner squirrel, which I hate squirrels, I'm always battling them at my house, but I love nuts.
Well, this is it's a little bit like birdseed too.
It is. It's
but
so good. I even sprinkle it in my oatmeal and I just eat it at work when I need a little snack. I'm just eating it all the time. So now I'm stuck on your paleo granola. Everybody should try the paleo granola. It's delicious. But I do love the cherry almond. What's your favorite?
Coffee hazelnut.
I never had that one.
We have 9 or 10 different flavors. Our newest one is cranberry walnut, but coffee hazelnut because the hazelnuts give a little maple syrup.
Who gets to come up with the flavors?
I usually do, but we have a couple. We had a gingerbread flavor this winter that Julia came up with, and she was a baker here. So we, mostly I just kind of add things on. We have pumpkin spice in the fall. The cranberry walnut is the new one.
Yep.
I think my mom was the one who wanted the walnuts in there.
Does your mom work here?
No, well, she has her little goodies there, her little handmade pillows and hot pads. And
So she doesn't have her little farm stand up on the thing
she
anymore.
doesn't.
So
Once COVID hit, she kind of decided to be done with that.
That's hard.
So all of her things that people love are here.
That's awesome.
Little-
Because you have to put things in here to fill your nuts.
Yes.
I know. Well, if you need any, I got boxes of that work waiting for me. Anyway, so now I'm going to talk about you and your husband wanted this. What about your kids? How did do they like this place? Do they want to work here? Do they want to take it over someday? I mean, we kind of battle that right now at Al's. We're sort of we're all old. I'm going to be 60 in May. My brother is 62. My other brother is 2 years younger. And I don't have kids. So I thought, well, geez, we don't ever think we're not going to be here or what's the future. But we've had to sit down for about a year now talking about the future and what's going to happen because we don't live forever.
Well, so my kids have all worked here in one capacity or another. Brady and Trevor are coming back this year. But at this point, the oldest is 25. She's down in Atlanta. She's getting married, so she's getting married. She's going to med school down in Atlanta, and then Sheridan's in Minneapolis doing software.
Gosh, I can't believe it.
I know.
I'm forever stuck at 13 when everybody was little. So.
Yeah. So, I don't see them coming back, but they love Door County.
But they love that you have this too, right?
Well, a little bit of a love-hate relationship because it takes a lot of time.
Right.
And
you can't just leave and go visit them when they want you to come out.
Right. And even, when they were growing up, I was torn because when you're starting, you put a lot of time in.
And you've got the 4 kids that all played basketball. So your husband and you are so tall. So of course everybody at Gibraltar's like, are you playing basketball? We need you guys to play basketball because we didn't have a lot of tall people.
True.
And then your oldest daughter went on to play in college.
She did. Yeah.
She's very good.
Yep.
And then the one that was in Bo's class, Sheridan,
she played
was a
in high
little more quiet. She was a little booky and whatever. Bo always liked her. She was a little quiet.
Yeah.
And then your 2 sons came along and grew up so fast because I didn't have kids in school.
Right.
And all of a sudden I'm looking at them. I'm like, that is not her kids. They used to be tall, small, but now they're.
And Trevor will graduate high school this year, so they're all going off to do their own thing.
That is crazy. I watched your son play basketball in the state tournament.
Yes.
Was on TV. So Gibraltar went to state, if people don't know that, and that's a big deal we've never had before.
He was very excited about his dunk.
Yes, that was pretty. I saw the dunk. Yes, he had a nice dunk. Yes, he did. I went to the Bucks game last night, and I was thinking about every time someone dunks, I'm like, that must be the best feeling in the world. When you
it's so fun to watch.
Short people like us never get that, but it would be a dream to get up there and
so much
go
power.
Lopez, that. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any future plans here? Do you have any? You serve some food items too, right?
We do have some to-go items in the refrigerator. We do some salads and yogurt parfaits. We're not a full-service restaurant. I basically say we're an artisan market because we have a lot of artisan food products that serve our coffee.
Okay.
We're not an espresso.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, hey, can you get me? I'm on my way. Can someone order me a cappuccino with almond milk? And then they We don't do cappuccinos or espresso. We just have coffee, and that's fine. I love coffee.
We try to keep it simple.
You know what?
I think simple in many aspects of life is better, so
Yeah.
we keep things pretty simple. But we don't have too many plans. You know, we're trying to still get a handle on what we're doing here. And we did wine nights last year when McKenna was home. She helped us with that. And we will do a few more of those things. But
do you do beer too, or just wine?
Well, we are a gluten-free facility.
Okay.
So it's hard to find a good gluten-free beer. So we might make the exception and have some beers that aren't gluten-free.
You're totally gluten-free?
We are a gluten-free facility, yes.
Is that because you're gluten-free?
I have been gluten-free for certain
Now, why
parts
are
of my
you
life.
gluten-free? Because you have an allergy, or you just choose to be?
I feel better when I'm gluten-free, but it's a pretty interesting thing. We started with one gluten-free granola, and it was so popular, we decided to do everything gluten-free because you don't want to make anyone sick either
Right.
with the cross-contamination. So all of our granolas are gluten-free, all of our bakery products are gluten-free. People are nervous about that sometimes, but they're delicious. All of our bakery
You wouldn't even have
products are
to tell
delicious.
them that. They would just order it
most people
anyway.
don't
If you didn't
know.
even say it, you would just say, well, it all is gluten-free. You just order what you want.
But the cool part is people who have celiac will come in and literally have a tear because they have not had a donut or something in so long. And these little kids, you know, they come in and their mom says, hey, you can have anything here.
Yeah.
And to me, that's satisfying. That's really a cool thing. And it tastes good, you know, so people don't miss the gluten.
I know when Bo was little, had so many allergies. I had no idea what he was allergic to. And we would just trial and error. You know, he'd try something, he'd swell up like a Shar-Pei, and then we'd get the Benadryl out, or we'd have to carry an EpiPen, and, oh, I guess you can't have that. I guess you can't eat that. Can't have watermelon, can't have this.
It's a lot of allergies.
How do you know? And then, but I always say to Bo, like, if you find something that works, then you stick to it. But you don't need to eat peanuts to survive. Like, I mean, there's other things to eat.
Right.
You know, you don't have. He's like, Mom, I'm gonna try peanuts after a while. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be there. You better be in a hospital. But I like the fact that even if you didn't care about gluten-free, it's still healthy. You'd still be eating healthy, and you don't really know it.
Right.
And you showed me some paleo bars up there that I'm gonna have to come back and get.
Very popular.
Always looking for snacks, and I love cookies, and they look like healthy cookies.
Wow.
Healthy cookies.
We'll call them healthy.
Healthy cookies, people.
They're peanut butter and chocolate
They're
chip.
good when you fika with your coffee.
Fika, you
Yeah, we're
betcha.
having a fika over here at Kickash. So do you guys have any events coming up that I know you did some wine events last year. Do you have music here ever?
We did do some music last year. We're trying to get some more staff. We need some retail staff. So
Everybody needs help.
I know.
Move to Door County
I know.
and bring a tent because there's no
So-
place to live, but we have lots of jobs.
Yeah, so it kind of is going to depend on staffing. Next Tuesday night, we have an author coming here. So we are doing a book exchange from 6 to 7. You can bring up to 5 books and take up to 5 books, and then she's going to
cool.
speak at 7. So we'll serve wine, but we don't have anything on the books right now because we're just waiting to get some more
So
staff.
if you did, you could just pop it on your page and
Yes.
people just find out word of mouth. So that's easy too.
Yep. I mean, social media is
Yeah.
It's so great. It's so easy to get the word out.
Exactly. And anything gets the word out up here. Yep. Everybody knows everything.
Well, that's how we always found out about life at the coffee table at Al's, right?
Exactly. The men always say it's the women,
I was
but I
like-
think it was the other way
I know.
around.
I was always like this, saying,
You're like, "Ooh,
what's going
happening
on
over there
in the county?
Who did that? That is so funny. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about Kickash? I know you have a little deck outside.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Because I remember
the summer
sitting
out
here
there.
one day and your husband was battling bees.
Yes, yep.
There were people out there and they were swatting bees, and I get it. I mean, we have such a problem
Last year
with
was
bees at
really
this
bad,
Tabor when we
yeah.
have like the fall, and everybody's drinking those sugar drinks. There's just bees everywhere.
So we have the deck, and it's really nice to be out there. We're a little off the highway, so that helps. And then we have a beautiful garden in the back.
Do you have tables back there too?
We do. In the summer we have
that's
tables,
nice.
and it goes, there's a little walking path back there. It's beautiful. And the Lindens who were here before us did a great job with the gardens.
Yeah.
So it goes almost all the way to the Mink River Basin. That's how the garden, it's pretty
I
far back.
walked like behind, there's a little trail that you can take back to where they built those condos back there. Those And it takes you to like Lakeview Drive. There's like a little path and you can cut through. That's kind of nice, and so I like that.
Yeah, the Cottage Glen people can come down through there and come into our property
it's a
that way.
perfect path. I know it's not like real public, but it's still kind of a a hidden trail. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden trails up here that I don't know about. So
There are.
yeah, I know.
There are a
We were
lot.
just talking to Cinnamon about that, and she said that's a hidden trail map, but not everybody can get it. Or there's a hidden trail.
What?
Yeah, you got to find out about the hidden trails.
I do know a few because I led a hiking group for about 3 years, and we found some through the members in that group. So
Yeah.
So
My
really-
hidden trails are always snowmobile trails in like the farmlands and through the cherry orchards because nobody really cares if my dog's not on a leash there.
Yeah.
So it like works out good. No traffic. No one's going to get mad because they don't really live there. And I'm not doing anything but walking through. But anyways, I love your place. And
I do want to say one thing. We were talking about hiking, and we were going to bring up Dark Sky.
Look at
Profits
that.
from this go to Newport State Park.
Oh my God.
I'm a board member there, so
Well,
that's
yeah,
kind of
let's
a
talk
fun.
about your coffee for just a second. So now
Yeah.
we talked about granola and your coffees.
Right. So Chris kind of got interested in doing coffee and was doing it at home, like with an old popcorn popper. And then we decided, what the heck? It's a good add-on to granola. So we started doing that. Very small little coffee roaster. When we lived in Alaska, we went to Alaska Coffee Roasting Company, and we fell in love with Ethiopian coffee. So that was our first coffee that we did. Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
It's not called Ethiopian
It's Ethiopian
coffee?
Yirgacheffi.
Where does it say that? Oh, right there.
Right here.
Okay, so how do you say that long word right there?
Well, I think it's Yirgacheffi. now that you're
Yirgacheffi,
saying it, I'm
Ethiopia.
second guessing myself. Right, and the fun part about our coffee bags is each one has, it's hard to see, we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. Each one has, instead of tasting notes, it has a Door County experience. So like this one says, like a dip in the waters of Lake Michigan. That's our
Ooh.
tasting notes for that. This one is
Very
like
nice.
gazing at the night sky at Newport, captivating and full-bodied. So each one
Nice.
has a little Door
I like
County
the little labels that
thing.
you put on there. Like there's a
This was-
little bit of the Milky Way gallery there, and I love that.
Yeah.
I've
So
never tried the dark sky roast.
It's really good.
I'm gonna have to try that.
It's rivaling our top seller, which was Mexico. This one, because profits go straight to Newport, and the reason that started was because of COVID. They couldn't open their store at
Okay.
Newport,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we started doing this and have some of the Newport items here so that they could sell
I saw,
and make some
I
money.
saw some of the
Yeah.
Newport items.
Yeah.
I have to laugh. Susie brought me a couple Ziploc bags of just some coffee beans to try. And everyone who knows me, I don't have a bean grinder. So here I have 4 bags of your delicious coffees sitting at my house.
Bring it in. We'll grind it
I had
for
to
you.
go to Kohl's one day and I bought myself a little bean grinder.
Okay,
so
good.
now I've been tasting all your different. And my favorite was New Guinea.
Oh, that's what we use for a cold brew.
I love it. It was super good. Rolf, I would bring him the flavor of the day in the morning. I'd bring him one to work. And he also liked the New Guinea.
Yeah,
So we liked that.
We use that in our cold brew, and it's got a little chocolate
Yeah.
yumminess to it. Yeah,
It's got a little bit of different flavor. I
good.
couldn't place it, but I'm not that great at coffee, so.
But I did learn to drink coffee at Al's.
Of course, I did too. And now I feel like I drink too much coffee sometimes.
Me too.
I have to back off.
Me too.
I worked in a coffee shop once, and I get why you don't want a cappuccino machine or an espresso machine. I was in Steamboat,
Lot of work.
Colorado. I was working at a job one day that was a waitress job, making good money. It wasn't even the season yet, and the whole building blew up in a natural gas explosion.
Kind of like what happened here
Yeah. Yeah.
at the Pioneer.
Yes, exactly. And all of a sudden I lost my job. And it was
Wow.
like the very beginning of the season. So I went downtown and there was this bookstore coffee shop and I got a job there, but I was at the counter all day long making cappuccinos and espressos and grinding coffee beans. And in the beginning, I loved coffee and the smell of it. And after a while, I was just like, I wish I could never smell another coffee bean.
I haven't gotten
the
to that
oil
point
that
yet.
gets on you, and then it lingers on you. And I became a huge tea drinker after that. They had all those Republic of teas
Yum.
that were delicious and like $20 a can for a tea or $40 for this special brew. But yeah, it was super good, and I get why. You can just come in and get a good cup of coffee, people. We do not have to have a cappuccino, Annika. You can have coffee.
And we'll put a little hot chocolate in there for you if you need it. And
Right, that's how she learned how to drink coffee.
yep,
She had to put
Elizabeth
some
the
hot
Swedes.
chocolate in it. And I can't drink coffee without milk or cream. If I'm home and I don't
Yeah.
have any milk or cream to put in my coffee and it's in the morning, like 6 a.m., When is the Pioneer store going to open? Because I need to go down there and get something. I can't even suck down black coffee.
Really?
I'm the only one in my family. They all make fun of me.
I love it.
I know. I'm like, I need some cream in my coffee, or coffee with my cream, you know. Well, anyway, anything else we need to talk about?
That
you want to say about Kick Ash? Because I think it's kicking ash here.
Yeah, it's a pretty special place.
I love it.
I think the most interesting thing is people come in here and they go, what is it about this place? There's a feeling here, and I don't know. I always like to say it's the history of the church ladies in the basement making all these great
We did some
goodies.
yoga here for a while.
We did do yoga, and the Lindens had such good energy. I think it's the energy of the building that is just a really great space. I learned a lot of my work ethic from working at Al's, so it's fun for me to take some of that experience.
She was an excellent worker, though. She was. We have our great workers, and then we have our, you know,
But you know, your parents were the ideal couple, working so hard, showing us how to work hard. Yeah. And I think everybody that ever worked there, you know, learned how to work hard.
Yeah. Let's try to beat Al to a table. Let's try to beat him before he sets it.
And it's been, for me, this building is about community, and that's probably my favorite thing.
I love that.
This
Ellison Bay
this church was community.
I like Brew. I go to Brew quite a bit too.
And they do the lattes there. So
yep, I know. If I need one, I can go there. But I like that you can come in here and kind of get away from, in there it's a little small, and I sometimes can't, like if you're going to meet with me and we want to talk private, it's harder. But in here you have such good little nooks and spaces and things. I need to come in more often. I have to work all the time, but I love this place. I just have to say,
thank you.
I'm so proud of you. It's just like a really cool place. She all grew up and she got her own place. Well, anyways, thanks for coming and letting me have a coffee today with you, and I just wish you the best of luck. I just love your building. I'm jealous. If you ever need someone to caretake when you go on your major vacations, I'll just come in here and caretake.
Like you need more to do, Annika.
I can do it. Only at night, though. Only at night.
I see. I see.
After 3. Okay. I'll do it. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us for another episode of Door County Girl. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you can meet more cool people like Carol Ash. And it's too bad her husband didn't get to join us, because I could have asked him a couple questions about Alaska. It's on my bucket list.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
It's a great place
Got
to
to
be.
get there. My dad said that's the only thing he's never done in his life that he wanted to do before he died. We were in hospice, and the doctor said, Al, is there anything you wish that you didn't do before you died, or you didn't get to do? And he said, go to Alaska. And we were all shocked, you know, because he tried to get there a couple times, but medical things happened and whatever. So I want to get to Alaska for my dad's bucket list thing and go and check it out. It's pretty cool.
It's an amazing place.
I heard that. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. See you next time. Thanks for watching Door County Girl. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.